Head, Sean.
Got it. Okay, so here's a very simple search to show how many hundreds of timeshare operators are advertising on platforms like Airbnb and how many hundreds of hotel operators are advertising on Airbnb. So to show all of Oahu in the search location of Airbnb, just put in Oahu in its entirety. You can skip the dates, you can skip the number of guests, you can just hit search. And to filter this down to just hotel and timeshare operators, move to the far right-hand side of your screen, click the filters button, scroll about halfway down until you see property type. Make sure you expand property type to show all property types, and then click off resort, hotel, and boutique hotel. And it'll indicate that there are over 300 stays. 300 is the maximum that Airbnb can search at a time. So I'm confident there's a lot more than 300, but show the 300 stays. As you can see by my screen, they pop up island-wide, North Shore, Ko'olina area, and Waikiki area. For the purposes of this example, I'm going to zoom the map in on just the west side, the Ko'olina area of Oahu. And you'll see 64 is the number of either timeshare or hotel operators operating in this zone. We're going to click on the first ad, for example. It's advertised as a studio at Ko'olina Beach Club Studios. Click on it. And the indicator,
Marriott.
It says Marriott in the title. I'm sorry, I said Ko'olina, I meant to say Marriott. And pretty easy to determine which ones are timeshare units by just reading their description. So most obvious is license number is exempt. And then
this is a timeshare. It says right there in the top.
This is a timeshare. So there you have it. So if you were to go through each of these 64 advertisements for Ko'olina, I would imagine most of them are going to be timeshare, with the minority of them being hotel, if any. But if you do this same search over the Waikiki area, it seems to be pretty equal number, hundreds of hotel operators selling their rooms through Airbnb, and equal parts timeshare operators selling their units through Airbnb. So it's just further confirmation that everyone in the resort zones needs a registration process. Otherwise, the DPP is not going to have any way to enforce, regulate, determine who's who, so on and so forth.
So you're in Waikiki now. You can look. Yep. Can you look in the Hotel La Croix? That's a hotel,
sure.
Right?
Okay, so advertised Hotel La Croix, 1 queen and free parking.
So that's supposed to be a hotel, right? Like the hotel is advertising, not a person, right?
It's hard to say. Okay, so yeah, this one is hosted by the hotel.
So this is an actual hotel.
This is
hosting their hotel.
This is an example of a hotel putting their rooms directly on Airbnb, and license number is exempt because the two other operators, timeshares and hotels, are completely exempt, even though they're doing the exact same advertisements as the TVUs. TVUs will always have a TAT and a TMK number in that field. Timeshares and hotels get away with putting exempt.
Right, and then you wouldn't know who it is for real. This is online. We don't have that number to verify them either, right? They're all they say is exempt, exempt, exempt.
Right. So I mean, this, there's no way by looking at interior photos to know that this is actually the Hotel La Croix. This could be, Joe from New York advertising his Airbnb, but he doesn't register.
And he's pretending to be Hotel La Croix, but he could be, He could be a regular Airbnb unit somewhere, condo somewhere.
You wouldn't know, and it would be this. It would be true for anyone who's able to put an exempt, because now there's no system to follow who's who. You know, if everyone just puts an exempt and names themselves something like Melissa's Hotel, you know.
Right. No, it's true, because if you have to put a number and no one can duplicate it in the system, then you won't be able to do this. You won't be able to say all the same hotel, right? Marriott, 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 Marriott 50 times, and it's all different people. If you have that one license number, Marriott can only advertise once because they have their license number, and that's
right.
it.
So
that would get rid of all these extra ads that might not even be in the Hotel La Croix. We're not even sure.
So the city and county's goal is to be able to keep accurate tabs on how many of us are operating within the resort zones. And again, they are only requiring the TVU operators to fill out, we already fill out TAT and TMK, but now they're asking us to do a third thing, which is, participate in a new registration system that they're coming up with, where, we're only 1/3 of those utilizing these platforms. The other timeshare and hotel make up the other 2/3. They have always been exempt, and according to CD1, they're going to continue to be exempt. And so for the city and county to say that they're imposing this for the purpose of tracking and registration and so forth isn't accurate at all, because we may not even be the majority who's advertising on here. It appears that there's a large population of hotel and timeshare advertisements with no proposed regulation of them in this bill.
So Yang, do you want us to pull up a different ad? It says by a person. Is that what you said? Pull up an ad by a person?
Yeah, let's see if we can find one that's a person. So
we pulled up a timeshare, which is a person's timeshare. We pulled up a hotel that says exempt. And
okay, so some of these folks are saying, room in boutique hotel in Honolulu. There's no indication of what, whether it's timeshare, hotel operated, or person operated. So we can click on it and we will see the host is a person's name, not like the last ad, but it's
a person, Paola, unless Paola is the name of the boutique hotel or something.
Right. So if we go on to read it, welcome to our new sweet blue Hawaii, so on and so forth.
Cozy studio located in Waikiki. So it looks like it's just a studio. It's just a condo.
So they put an exempt. They have refused to even name which building it's in.
Yeah. So that's probably just a regular Airbnb. It's probably
it could be, or it could be like, the manager of the hotel is doing his Airbnb ads under his personal name, if we want to give them the benefit of the doubt. But, it's a major loophole to.
Yeah, no, it's a major loophole. Yeah, because if you have the number for the hotel and for each timeshare, you can't do this. You can't put exempt. You just can't get on the platform. That's a giant loophole.
So I'll click on hotel room in Honolulu. Hosted by James. We have no idea who a James is, or if he's affiliated with a hotel. According to his ad, I don't see any indication of what building he might be in.
Exempt. It says he's exempt.
He is of course exempt, and he is not indicated the name of his hotel. So again, no way to track him down or confirm.
Because he used exempt as his. So we really need to get rid of the whole exempt category if you really want to crack down on these.
If the goal is to have everyone be accountable and know how many rooms are for rent,
there cannot be an exempt. Like yeah.
Hotel, resort, timeshare, no one can be exempt because tomorrow I'm changing my ad to be beautiful room in a Waikiki hotel. I won't mention the name of the hotel. I'll type in exempt, and I'll fly under the radar with all of these other operators.
Okay, so how do you know that 1/3 is like legal TVUs and 2/3 are hotels? Did you do a number thing? How do you?
I'm just saying, I'm not saying in specific numbers. What I'm saying is the resort zone has given principal use to do short-term rental activities to 3 categories: to timeshares, to hotels, and to TVUs.
Right.
According to the, to the ordinance, we are all supposed to be treated equally because we are all operating some sort of a short-term rental business in the same zone. So I'm just saying that, there's 3 different people operating the same business in the resort zone. So I'm saying
see what you're saying.
they're only regulating 1/3 of
They're
those.
only regulating the small business owners like us who own a TBU in the resort zone and are required to put in our TMK,
Correct.
TAT and all that, but they are not regulating hotels and timeshares. And we're showing that that's a huge mistake because it's creating this giant loophole. Great.
Yeah.
All right. I think that's it. Everyone watching this, you can obviously repeat what he's doing any day of the week and see for yourself all of these timeshare hotel ads with all the exemptions on there.
Yeah, and in the area of Waikiki alone, over 300, as I mentioned earlier, Airbnb maxes out at 300 in their search. So, I have no way of knowing how many more than 300, but you can do this exact same search on VRBO as well. You can, zoom in on certain areas and maybe get a better count that way. But, just Waikiki alone, it maxes out.
Maxes out. Okay, gotcha. All right. Well, thank you for this informative video. I didn't know how to do this until you showed me. So it is a major issue. All right, I'm going to end recording. Thank you.